Hi, my name is Carlos Flores, and welcome to Hashtag Border Speaks. In the following short episode, we're going to talk about a golden age in the history of the city of Laredo and the border, and how the new proposed border wall might affect that. So please stay tuned for the episode and leave a comment below to let us know what you think. Thank you.
One, two, three. Like this whole border wall thing has kind of shown how not isolated we are and how critical we are to the entire country. I want to hear a little bit of your thoughts about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we became a flashpoint because the border wall. I mean, all of these things we heard about during the campaign, that this border wall was coming, and we thought, of course, and we've talked about this. We all felt like it's a terrible idea, and there's a lot better ways to solve the problem than building a wall. And then all of a sudden, we have a new administration. Then they start moving towards the wall, and now we're moving towards the second term or second potential term and all of a sudden you realize they need to show some progress, that they built the wall, and then they choose us as one of the first parts, the first parts of the country, and so it became very real right away. And to me, one of the most disappointing memories I have over the last couple of years is being at La Posada and looking out the window and seeing the river and then seeing the barbed wire, the razor wire. I just thought, really, like, do we really need razor wire? Like, I just don't see people dying to, like, trying to get in. I mean, what is this? It felt like East Berlin and in the 1980s. So I thought that was terrible. And for people who've grown up here and understand the community and understand how Laredo is a sister city, that it was a sister city that we were very close to years ago, but because of the drug problem, we kind of had to isolate ourselves. We almost had to quarantine ourselves. My kids did not grow up with the same experiences that I had, going to Nuevo Laredo, freely being able to go to Nuevo Laredo, go there for lunch and go there for dinner. They didn't experience that, but they still, they understand it's there. Our generation still understands the importance of Nuevo Laredo as a sister city. But to see that, it was almost like the final death blow of, like, the relationship between the two cities. Although, I mean, we as lawyers, we don't have a strong connection. There are people in other industries, I think, in Laredo still have a very, very strong connection. If you're in the trade business, you probably still have that strong business connection. That's still very strong. But the cultural connection, I think, had been loosened over years, sadly, and I think that's one of the tragedies of our time. Is that our kids. The reason I came back to Laredo was because I wanted them to experience what I grew up with. And the best restaurants in town were in Nuevo Laredo. The experience of being able to go to a different country in a matter of minutes and experience that culture, and seeing the plaza on a Sunday night where all the kids are out and everybody's running around, and you thought, nobody does this in Laredo. Like, this is, and felt like you could be a part of that, like you could share in that experience, that it didn't have to be like, oh, that's just them, but felt like we were both sister cities. I mean, all that stuff, which became so important as you go into college and graduate, you're trying to start a career and you're thinking, I really want my kids to experience that, because they're not going to get that in San Antonio. And they'll get some of that, but they're not going to get that in Dallas or Houston. They'll get a different experience, but like this unique cultural experience. So it's really been a big disappointment that we've lost that. And now with the border wall, it's like, well, let's just put this final nail in the coffin, because, let's just prevent that relationship from trying to rebuild,
Yeah. And let me put a little context to what you're saying. I think you brought some good points. I mean, for those people who have never come to the border, and part of what my mission with this channel and with these conversations is to really bring more awareness to the diversity of the society that we have here on the border. And so for people who might tune into this one day and not really have the full context of this, the three of us, we live in Laredo, Texas, which is an American city founded in 1755. What you're referring to as Nuevo Laredo was part of the settlement that was founded along the river, and until 1848, it was all one city. There was no Nuevo Laredo, it was all just Laredo. And then in about 1848, I think it was, when the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which placed the Rio Grande River as the international border between the United States and Mexico. And so that's actually the founding of the city of Nuevo Laredo, which you were just talking about. And then after that, growing up for many, many generations from then on, the two cities still kind of were sister cities in that, although there was an international border, it still felt to a large extent like one continuous city.
Thank you for watching the video. Next Saturday, I'm going to be interviewing Dr. Rodrigo Ceballos. We're going to be talking about the difference between Eastern and Western medicine and the journey of the soul. So please do tune into that on hashtag Border Speaks. Thank you.